This is the only diet advice that you'll ever need. Yes, this will definitely get you to your goals if you stick to it, of looking muscular and lean and healthy from the outside as well as inside. Because there's no use looking good on the outside and your health inside is suffering. That's not what we do. Along with that, I'm gonna teach you or give you a few insights on how you can tell good food from bad food that surround you every day. Almost every shop that you go to that sell food and snacks, that's not actually food. That's not actually snacks. Anyway, let's go back 200 years ago or 150 years ago to when your grandparents were young. Were young. The food they ate, from the outside it may look briefly like what we eat. Let's say eggs, meat, bread, potatoes, grains, fruits. We get the same things now, but the quality in them is very different. But it's still better than what other stuff we're surrounded with. So back then, there were small farmers that catered to their own villages and own towns. So they never focused on profit. They only focused on giving good value. They didn't produce stuff for mass production. And the health back then was pretty good. Very good, in fact. Then, a few years after that, I think late 1800s, beginning of 1900s, was when industrialization started popping off and started buying out all these small farms and everything into one major corporation. So into the food industry, into the medical industry, into the entertainment industry. These three industries, they're all intertwined. Their propaganda is pushed through each other. So what's the main goal of these industries? The people at the top, to make money, to make profits. How will they profit? Will they profit from healthy people? Will they profit from people who eat clean? No. They profit from people who are addicted, whom they get addicted onto their own foods. Junk foods, packaged foods that are so addicting, biscuits and chips that you eat endlessly. How are they so addictive? Because they've been through years of research to study human addictions, and they make the most addictive food available to the masses. So they keep on buying again and again and again. As a result of this, the consumer's health drops. So they go to the hospital. Obviously, where else will they go? To big hospitals and firms. Over there, they're treated just for the symptoms. There's no cure. Suppose they have a bad lifestyle and eat bad foods. The doctor will tell them all of that. Oh yeah, you're eating bad. Your sleep is this. Your food, you're eating very bad food. This was a meme I saw. And the patient asked the doctor, oh doctor, should I change my lifestyle? Should I start eating healthier? No, yeah, just take those pills and pay me 60,000 bucks. Injections and pills. Pharma industry. So they don't go to the root cause of the problem. That is the lifestyle and the foods. They only suppress the symptoms so that they keep us borderline unhealthy. Not healthy, but not unhealthy. Just because you're not unhealthy doesn't mean that you're healthy. They keep you just on the verge, on the line. So many of us have hospital visits at least 3 times a year, 4 times a year. And if it's a worse condition, maybe once a month. And for a few people I personally know, more than that. How sad is that? I remember being younger and going to the hospital so often because of my food habits, my lifestyle and all of that. But that's okay. Now, they started control over various sectors: food, pharma and entertainment. Now the aim is to keep people just on the verge, on the borderline unhealthy. So if anything extra happens, oh shit, I need to go to the doctor. And the quality of life is reduced. The strength of a man and a woman is reduced. The willpower. They make you lazy, lethargic, and dump you down. Compare breakfasts these days to the breakfasts that our grandfathers and grandparents ate. Breakfast these days, cereals. The crunchy, sugary cereals and mueslis loaded with sugar and artificial flavors and colors that are so addictive. And you see little children, the ages of 4, 5, 6, having all of that. And then they proceed on to pastas and pizzas and burgers when they grow up. And then eventually go into a lot more stuff. That's not what we want. Look at my look at my drawing there. 150 years ago, I drew a tree over there with coconuts that resembles nature and the goodness. And then comes growth of industrialization with a graph that shows money. Money focused. Below that is bad additives, bad addictive foods. And then now, present day, you see these big factories with smoke coming out of it, with chemical and slush oozing out of it. This is all made to, that's all the byproduct that they've used in production of the foods that we consume these days. From the big factories and packaged foods. So, this is how. They want to keep you sick and unhealthy and weak. That's not what we do here. We're on the path of becoming strong again, of reclaiming our strength and masculinity. And our own health for ourselves, our family, and our future family. This is why it is so important to take care of your health now. There's this one fantastic quote that I've come across. Pay your farmers now, or pay your doctors later. It's better to spend on good food, on researching and educating yourself about health and nutrition, and taking care of the quality of your life now, than to spend thousands and lakhs of rupees later at the hospital in pain, suffering, while your family needs that important money is being spent on hospital bills. We gotta change that. Change the trajectory of your future. Things to do, things to remember. It's written on the board there. I've written it on the board there. So, stick to whole foods. Whole foods, what are whole foods? They're the foods with the least ingredients. 1 ingredient, 2 ingredients. Excuse me. Take for example, you go to a supermarket, you buy breakfast, cereals. What's the ingredients in that? Okay, let's say there's refined flour, palm oil, vegetable oil, seed oils, sugar, sugar's number 1 or 2, coloring agents, emulsifiers, enhancers. You can't even pronounce so many of the names that they print behind there. So many ingredients in something that's supposed to be breakfast, your first meal of the day, that contributes to your health, supposedly. Replace this factory food with whole foods. Eggs. What's the ingredient? It's egg. And you want to fry it? Butter. What's the ingredient of butter? Milk fat. Ghee, milk fat. And you add salt and pepper. You see the difference? Whole foods. Number 2, foods with the least number of ingredients in them. Suppose you go out to a supermarket, to a store to buy foods. Learn to read the labels, the ingredients of them. If it has more than 4 or 5 ingredients at max, drop it. It's not good for you. It'll destroy your health. Slow, slow, slow. The most important thing is for you to avoid food or anything that comes from factories or is packaged. Take for example, even suppose you go to buy chicken, it's good, right? But you go to a supermarket, it's wrapped in plastic, and who knows for how long you can keep it, because the expiry date is very long. But if you go and buy chicken from your local chicken cutting guy, what do we call them? The meat shop, let's call it the meat shop. You have to consume it soon. So the longer the shelf life, the shorter your life. Remember that. The longer the shelf life of the food product or food product that you eat, the shorter your life. So the chicken you buy from your meat store, you can store it in your freezer, but you gotta cook it soon, right? The canned stuff, the canned tuna, the canned beef, the canned chicken, if they get canned chicken. Do we? No. The expiry date on them is 2 or 3 years from now. Can you imagine the amount of preservatives and chemicals in them? It's not good for your body at all, let me tell you that. Number 4, you've done the good things. You've educated yourself on whole foods and foods with the least amount of ingredients, preferably cooked at home. Now, if someone else is cooking them, they may put some other stuff like extra sugar or extra oil or food coloring. That's definitely very bad for you. Food coloring or masalas that you don't like. Solution to this: cook your food yourself. Most of the time. Of course, if you're sick or if you're... Occasionally it's okay to let someone else cook your food, but the food you eat should be cooked by you or supervised by you. Or give someone clear-cut instructions on how to prepare your food if you have someone who comes to cook at home. Tell them that. Next, do not listen to the masses. What does that mean? So many of the people out there, they talk about how good this is or how bad that is, what foods are good for you. Take a step back. Look at their lifestyle. Look at their health. Look at their physique. Look at their eyes, their teeth, their hair. The way they look in general. If they are not where you want to be, or not close to where you want to be, or not on the path to be where you want to be, don't listen to them. Don't listen to a fat person on what is good food. Don't listen to a poor person on how to make money. You listen to a fisherman on how to fish for fish. You don't listen to the fish. Now, let's come to the main foods that should be most of your diet. You should prioritize protein, because protein helps in muscle building and recovery. The foods that are very high in protein are very good for your body and whose bioavailability is high. That means most of the protein you eat from that food will be absorbed by your body. Because I read this study about the difference between bioavailability of protein from eggs and a protein bar. Suppose eggs has 6 grams of protein. Your body will absorb most of it, if not all of it. A protein bar with the same amount of protein in it, let's say 6 grams of protein, or even 10 grams of protein in one protein bar, the bioavailability of that is low. So even if you consume that 10 grams of protein from the 10 gram protein bar, your body may absorb 2 grams or 3 grams at max. Eggs are one of the most bioavailable forms of protein. Prioritize eggs. I eat 6 or 7 eggs almost every single day. I'm gonna bump that up very soon. And you should as well. With the yolk, we don't do this weak shit of removing the yolk. Eat the yolk. Meat. I love eating beef. Obviously now there's buffalo meat that we eat here because beef is not available. But still, it is amazing. It is rich in so many multivitamins that it just does not have vitamin C in it. I'm talking about beef, buffalo, beef, cow, anything. It is so healthy for you. Your diet should consist of so much beef, at least 1 or 2 servings of meat every single day. Pair that with, let's say, eggs if you want, a fruit, preferably citrus fruits that's high in vitamin C. Butter and ghee, again, that's healthy fats. The ingredients in them, milk fat and milk fat, butter and ghee. It's very healthy for you. The healthy fats, they help in increasing your good cholesterol, your HDL levels. Cholesterol is important for men and women because it is what helps in producing testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. It's good for you. Don't listen to anyone who says it's not good for you, because there's a lot of studies that come. Also, one more thing before I continue. People tell you that research says beef is not good for you, eggs are not good for you, butter and ghee are not good for you, the sun is not good for you. Look at the people who fund the research. It's usually these big corporations and big industries that thrive on people being unhealthy. The pharma industry, the food industry, that want you to be sick and unhealthy and eat their foods and take their medicines. They're the ones who fund these. And I came across this one more thing. 97% of scientists agree with whoever funds them. Remember that before listening to someone quote research to you. Fermented dairy, that is curds and cheese. Why this? Why this? Because we're getting aware of the microplastics in our environment. A few years ago, there was this study. Now, this is a good study. A person consumes 1 credit card size amount of plastic per week. This was, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. And there has been, I think, 50% or 100% increase in that. So we're consuming a lot more amount of plastic than just 1 credit card per week. What does that do? Microplastics. They enter your body, disrupt your hormonal system, disrupt your functioning, disrupt your well-being. What do fermented products do? They help in removing those things from your body. To dumb it down and simplify it, fermented foods like curds, yogurt, cheese, they help your body in removing these things and from your body so that your body doesn't have as much microplastics. It helps in taking them out of the body, in removing microplastics from your body. So eat as much fermented stuff, curds and yogurt and cheese as you can. Next, that I spoke of already, vitamin C. Fruits high in vitamin C. That's citrus fruits, oranges, berries, mandarins, sweet lime, lemon, and other fruits, like let's say apple. Vitamin C is good for your immune system, for your skin. I haven't eaten vitamin C or oranges in some time because they're kind of expensive now. But this again came to mind. Pay the farmers now or pay the doctors later. So I'm going to go and order oranges now. Remember this. After protein, you come to your carbohydrates and fats. Keep fats at a higher level than carbohydrates. Higher importance, because that's very good for you. Healthy fats. Not seed oils, not vegetable oils, not processed foods, not deep fried stuff. Healthy fats. And then come your carbohydrates. Let's keep them simple and complex carbs. Okay? So the good ones to eat that I usually eat, bread, which may have gluten in it. Chapatis, that's tortillas with wheat. Obviously, no maida, no refined flours. And sometimes rice. And then comes potatoes and your other vegetables. But be mindful. Prioritize with protein, and then fats, and then carbs. do this experiment with your own self. If I increase this, if I decrease this, how will I look? It's not necessary to track your weight, but if you want to, you can. The more important thing is how you look in the mirror, how you feel from inside. Obviously, a good feeling, not like, oh, I feel comfortable with myself, how I am, I love myself, I'll continue to eat this garbage. No, that's just bullshit, that's copium. That's not the kind of feeling we're talking about. We're talking about feeling healthy while actually being healthy. That's what we focus on. That's what I want you to focus on. If you watched this far, I'm proud of you. You got this. Yeah. Next break. Also, send this video to someone you think this might help. Like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Cheers.